So to add insult to injury of the Giants being exposed like a 1970s flasher in Central Park, the Sun didn't realize the game was at 1 p.m. Eastern time and thought tonight was Sunday night football for the Giants. Big mistake. Can you believe that the Giants coughed up this game? I mean, they just choked. I cannot believe it. The other thing I can't believe is that the Sun thought the game was at 8 o'clock and not 1 p.m. Eastern time. So that's why I'm by myself. Can you believe this guy? He left his own mother hanging out to dry to carry a post-game show. I am not the expert football person on this show. It is him. So let me say this. The Sun better show up for the last three games, or else he better watch and remember when these games are. I didn't think I needed to remind him, but you know what? A mother's work is never done. But this Giants team, they embarrassed themselves. They really undermined the success of the last five games, the amazing things they did. And we were left with a really, really crappy game to watch. And I'm just disgusted. I'm completely disgusted. Nevertheless, the Giants suck today. I mean, they suck bad. And Daniel Jones, coming off of his several weeks of being injured, didn't impress at all. He got sacked six times, an embarrassing six times. They took old Colt McCoy out of the archives again and put him in the final two. And let me tell you something. You know, he was warming up at the half, and I think maybe it's an intimidation tactic. They should have started the half with him. I think Daniel was cold today, and of course, I don't know, something was going on with the line. I don't know what was going on, but somehow the Cardinals must have been looking at films and figured something out to expose us, and that's what happened. A couple of standouts, of course, Slayton, who to me has been a little quiet over the last couple of games, really stepped up when we needed him to do it, and that was great. But the fact that we kept getting three and outs was pathetic. It was like the Giants of the beginning of the season. And we can't have those types of games. We can't have those moments where the Giants can't get a first down. It's very embarrassing. And I do hope that the Giants figure out a situation for the next game in which we can play with some sort of precision, like we've been doing for the last five games. Our winning streak was broken by a team that has lost their last three, the Arizona Cardinals. And I got to say, I'm not happy about it. I believe that the Giants should have won this game, but they allowed themselves to be severely exposed by this West Coast Birds team, as I like to call it. So the Giants have three more games left: Browns, Ravens, Cowboys. Now, let me say this. I think they could beat the Cowboys. I even think they could beat the Browns. Not so sure about the Ravens, but we weren't supposed to beat the Seahawks either. But if there's any indication from today's game, from this Cardinals game against the Giants, this, let me tell you something, is not setting us up for anything spectacular for the rest of the season. I think Joe Judge is going to have to really look at what was going on with the offensive line for this game. The fact that Danny Jones couldn't really he didn't have any time to find anybody open. He struggled with that, and the six sacks says it all. And he coughed up the ball a few times. He hasn't been doing that. There was a lot of pressure on him. Our defense still looks good. Yes, they were under a lot of pressure today from a more spectacular looking Cardinals offense, but our defense held them. I mean, if our defense was not fully engaged in that first half, that could have been a blowout first half. I mean, they could have had 26 points in that first half, but they were holding them, and or they were only able to get some field goals in there. But I'll tell you something. This was a shutdown. It was a complete shutdown. Case closed. Giants weren't allowed to do anything. And as for the Sun, who decided that he was a know-it-all and had just saw probably a couple of updates on his phone that the Giants game against the Browns had moved to Sunday Night Football, well, joke's on him. He totally missed the game because he realized he didn't recognize that that Sunday night football game was December 18th and not the 13th. So that's why the mother, is here. And he wouldn't even come on for me to make fun of him. He said that he has no reaction because he didn't watch. So you know what? He gets the gas face, and this is the gas face. So I'm going to keep it short because it's just me. He's usually my color commentary guy, and he hung me out to dry today. So what I'm going to say is I want to make sure that you subscribe to our channel. We just started this podcast on YouTube this season, and he and I have been talking about Giants games for years, and we decided to share it with everybody else because sometimes some funny stuff comes out. And the rage that I have right now for the Cardinals is not as good because I don't have him to beat off of. So uh, I want you to make sure that you catch us next week for the Sunday night football game, December 18th, 2020. And hopefully the Sun will get his act together and show up. So please subscribe, like, share. Please add your comments. Please, send in. How about this? Why don't you write a little note for the Sun, Jamie? Why don't you write a note for him and just, make fun of him for not knowing that his beloved Giants game was on at 1 p.m. Eastern time on December 13th. Just, I'd like to see what you have to say. You can call him some names. I'm fine with it. I won't be offended. He deserves it all. But until next time, I will see you on Family Bonding, the mother and son G-Men postgame show. Take care.